Hey guys, how is it going? Right, I'm like mega excited about this this module. This flowchart and this formula that you see in front of you, I know it looks daunting at the moment, but I'm going to take you through the entire formula, the entire process, the entire flowchart, step by step. And honestly, by the time you get to the end of it, you will have the confidence to get out there and negotiate against estate agents, negotiate against sellers, and negotiate a much better price. All right, this is a never seen before formula. This is a never seen before flowchart. I've even included a blank version of this. Okay, so you can have it on you when you're on the phone trying to negotiate, and this is going to help you negotiate a better price for your first home. So I think, look, let's jump straight in. But in fact, before we do, I must explain this formula is, it's not like a one-stop shop. It works very, very well on those sellers that have urgency and motivation. It works very well on the average type property that is perhaps where you don't have 2, 3, 4 buyers fighting over it. It works very, very well with those properties that don't have intrinsic value, right? So look, just bear that in mind, right? This is a formula and a flowchart that is mainly focused on those sellers that are motivated and have some urgency in selling. Now, I do go through how to negotiate in some upcoming modules on properties that are popular and on properties that where there is a where the seller maybe has a lack of motivation and a lack of immediate urgency. So check those other modules out. You must as well, if you haven't looked through the modules on seller profiling and the initial negotiate like a pro module, go and check those out now, because they directly relate to how you are going to offer and how this formula and this flowchart is going to help you. So look, let's jump right on in and let's explain what all of this means. So look, I've sort of coded everything for you here as well. All right, so whenever you see a yellow star, okay, that represents two things: your target offer and the fact that your target offer has been achieved. The green speech bubble represents two things: represents the owner's price or asking price, and it represents the owner's counter offers. The blue circle is your offers. The red shaped diamond is when an offer is accepted. The yellow triangle is something over target. This hexagon, I am not particularly good with my shapes, obviously, but this sort of stop shaped icon is I put a couple of those into the flowchart, and that is that will ask you to, once you've made an offer, it will give you it will tell you to wait 24 to 48 hours before making a further decision. The purple square is walking away, and this I think might be a rhombus. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna describe it as a slanted square. That means that you've done awesome. You've hit something under target. Right, now let's have a little look at the formula itself that I want you to use. Okay, so this is the negotiate like a pro formula when it comes to, I did it. There you go. When it comes to dealing with sellers with urgency and motivation. So I want you to make, in fact, let me explain each of them. So we've got the first offer, the second offer, which is called the counter offer, the third offer, which is called the best and final offer. Now, it's very, very important, guys, that you make the estate agent believe that this is actually your best and final offer. And it's important to use that terminology as well. All right, I've said in previous modules, most estate agents believe that buyers have only 3 offers in them. So if you can sort of very sneakily make them believe that this really, really is your best and final offer, they'll start negotiating differently with their client. Right, then you've got offer number 4, which is the hidden offer, and then offer number 5, which is the final push. And that is where you basically, if you have to, just pay what the owner wants or meet them halfway, or you just simply increase to your target bid. All right. Now, look, this can change slightly. So if you found a property that needs loads and loads of work and you feel that it is overpriced, then just shift this around a little bit. Okay. So, if you find yourself in those situations, maybe it would make sense. It would make sense that your first offer is 15% below asking price, and then sort of work back from there. Maybe your counter offer at that point would maybe be 11 or 12% below asking price, and then the best and final offer would be like 8, 9, 10% below asking price, and so on and so forth. So look, this is for like the average property, a seller with motivation. But if you find yourself negotiating on an way overpriced property, for example, then yeah, you could potentially make your first offer much lower than the 10%. But I think on average, we're going to be working on 10%. Okay, so let's jump on into this first section here. Now, the asking price of the property in this example, let's get the pen back. The asking price of the property in this example is £300,000. Okay, that is the owner's asking price. Now, you need to make a decision on what you want to pay for this property, what you're willing to pay for the property. Okay, whatever that maximum is, you need to make a decision early on in the process. Where would you like it to end? Okay, so in this example, the target price is 285. That is ideally what we would like to pay for this property, and maximum the property that's up at 300 grand. Okay, good. So your first offer, all right, on the back of the formula, your first offer is going to be at 10% below the asking price. Okay, so this is your first offer here, ladies and gentlemen. £270,000. Now, listen, you might get really, really lucky. Okay, you might come in at 270. The owner accepts it. Boom, under target. You legends. Okay. Now, what if that doesn't happen? That is an ideal scenario. Let's say the estate agent calls you up and says, well, I'm sorry, but your offer of 270 has been refused. It's just too low. I've spoken to my client and they've come back and said they want 295. Okay, so your offer number 2 is named your counter offer. Okay, and that is going to be 8% below the asking price. And you've now increased your bid from 270 to 276. Okay, offer number 2, the counter offer. Again, you might get very lucky. The owner might come back and go, do you know what? I love these guys. I'm going to accept the offer, and boom, under target. Okay, that would be an awesome scenario. Now, let's say that didn't happen. And you get a call from the estate agent to say, listen, stop mucking around. My client will not take anything less than 295, apparently. So, that is then the owner's counter offer. Now, look, I want you to bear something in mind. The estate agent obviously is working for the client. Now, often what happens, okay, so let's take this example here. Often what happens, and I'm not saying it happens all the time, but the client at this point, okay, could potentially have come back and said to the estate agent, look, you know what, I'll take 290. The estate agent's job is to try and achieve as much money as possible for their client. All right? They work on a commission-based, they work on a percentage-based commission, and on the back of that, if they earn more money for their client, they earn more money themselves, right? And who can blame them? Like you end up getting imagine if the client said, well, I'll take 290. They approached you at 295 and you paid 295. They reapproached their client, and they look like heroes because they've got them £5,000 more than what they said that they would take, right? But so bear in mind, sometimes that happens on the second or potentially the third owner's counter offer. All right, but look, let's just say in this case, there was the absolute truth. Don't know why that happened. The absolute truth was that the owner came back, or the estate agent came back and said, no way, 295 is it. Right, so now you're on offer number 3, which is called the best and final offer. unbelievably important that you make the estate agent believe that this really is your best and final offer. Okay, and I want you to use that terminology. All right, so you would say at this point, look, my best and final offer on the property, perhaps maybe add like a little bit of drama to it as well. My best and final offer on the property, I cannot offer a penny more than this, kind sir, is 279. Okay, which makes it, based on the formula, 7% below asking price. All right, now look at the way this is negotiating. All right, so your target offer is 285. We're now at 279 on offer number 3. Now, the estate agent, if they really believe that that's your best and final offer, and I know I said a minute ago that their job is to perform and achieve the highest possible price for their client. However, when they believe that there is that you have just given your best and final offer, their job is also to get results. Okay. And the client wants results, right? They want to move and they want to sell. Otherwise, they wouldn't be, motivated, and they wouldn't be on the market and things like that. So, yes, okay. So if they believe that your best and final offer and offer number 3 really is 279, the estate agent is likely to start negotiating differently at this point with their client. All right. So they might start saying, well, look, I've really, really pushed them. I've gone back and said you're looking for 295, and I just can't get them there. Their best and final offer, they've said to me, is 279. All right, that's the likely conversation that will end up happening. Now, look, who knows? They might come back at this point, accept your offer. Boom, again, under target. I can't draw circles. I've got to keep practicing this. Under target yet again. Offer number 3, best and final 279. Let's say it didn't go that way. All right, let's say the owner said, you know what, I appreciate that's their best and final offer, but can you go back and tell them that, look, the lowest that we could go to is 279. I'm sorry, ignore that. The lowest we can go to is 290. All right, so let's get my favorite colored pen back out. So their last counter offer was 295. Your best and final offer was 279. They've refused that and they've come back at 290. Okay, that is their next counter offer. Now, guys, at this point, let's bring this down. Now, it's at this point that you've got a couple of options. Okay, you can either wait 24 to 48 hours. All right, and there is something very, very powerful in that. All right, look, people's minds change all the time, and they can change based on a conversation that they have with somebody, right? So, you might be in the, going back and forth with these negotiations. You wait 24, 48 hours, leave your offer on the table. The seller has a conversation with their daughter that's moving to Nottingham, and that is one of their main reasons for them wanting to move. That's their motivation. And their daughter says, well, look, are they in a good position? They say yes. And, there could be loads of different sources of information in that 24, 48 hours that allows them to start thinking differently. All right. So you've got a couple of options at this point. You can wait 24 to 48 hours and you might get a phone call from the estate agent. Okay. That says, look, the owners over the last 24, 48 hours have thought about your offer. And they're willing to accept 279. Okay, so that was your best and final offer. They've come back at 290. You've waited 24, 48 hours, and you've offered 27, and they've accepted your offer of 279. Right, under target. Congratulations. All right, how great is that? Now look. The other thing that you could do, right? You might be freaking out yourself, right? You might be having outside sources saying to you, what if you end up losing it? And if that happens, then I want you to come straight in and with the 4th offer, all right, which is the hidden offer, all right, and that is 6% below asking price. So we are now they've come counted off for 290. You've gone straight in with the offer number 4, which is the hidden offer, at 282, which is 6% below asking price. You know what, guys? They may well accept that, and then it's under target again. This is great news. All right. Now, I appreciate things might not go that way. The other option is that you wait 24 to 48 hours. And if you don't get a phone call telling you the good news, then at that point, you come in with the hidden offer, right? So wait 48 hours, see if you get something from them, you know? And this is all about what we're doing here is using our own tactics. Estate agents have got their tactics, sellers have got their tactics, but now this formula and this flowchart give you your own first-time buying tactics, okay? So let's say 24, 48 hours have passed, you haven't heard from anybody. Pick up the phone and say, look, I would even add to this, actually. I would say, look, I've had a real think of about this. I've even been able to borrow some money. These are some small white lies. Bear with me. Don't hate me. I've even managed to borrow a little bit of money. And look, I'm able to increase further. Don't call it the hidden offer, by the way. If you're going to use the terminology best and final offer, I completely get it. But don't start going around telling people that... all right, I've got a fourth offer and it's my hidden offer. Don't do that. Just say, look, you know, I've managed to borrow a little bit of money and look, you know, I can increase my offer, but I can increase it to 282. All right, can you see what's happening here? All right, we're using this formula and we're using this flowchart to try and negotiate below our target price and way below the asking price. Okay, so at any point it could have, you know, your target price was 285 at any point. All right, by using this formula, any of these prices could have been agreed already. All right, even if you wanted to go straight in with your hidden offer, straight after their counter offer at 290. If you wanted to wait 24, 48 hours, you might get a phone call to say that your offer of 279 has been agreed. How amazing is that? We've negotiated under target. Yeah. Now, if that doesn't happen, you don't get a phone call, and you increase to 282. Now, of course, that could be accepted. And by the way, that's meant to read under target. I'm going to get that changed in preparation for the blank sheet that you're going to pull off. So look, apologies, that should read under target. So if that does get agreed at 282, awesome, under target, that would be your hidden offer. Now, look, they might come back at this point. Let's say they came back and say, look, you know what? We'll take the owner's counter offer from your offer of 282 is 289. All right. Now, just look at the way this has played out so far. The original asking price was 300 grand. Your target was 285. You are 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 offers in, and your bidding process is under target. And not only that, we are now 3 or 4 counter offers in by the owner, and we've got them from 300 grand to 289 so far. All right, so let's say that happened. You've then got 3 options. Okay, I hope you're with me so far on this. All right, if you keep going over and over and over this video until you're sort of totally in tune with this this formula and this flow chart. Now look, you've got 3 options at this point. The owners come back and said their counter offer is 289. Now, you could walk away, perfect circle, almost. You could walk away, all right, and say, you know what, like, that's it, you know, that's over my target, I'm walking away. Now, that can be very powerful also, all right? If you tell the estate agent you know, that's it, you're not willing to pay anymore, you're going to start looking at other properties and we wish them all the best, you know, that could get back to the owner. The estate agent ideally wants to get results. The owner wants results. You never know what that could turn into. Right, that could turn into them freaking out and accepting your last bid of 282. All right, but so that's one option. You can walk away at that point. All right, the other option is that you wait again for 24, 48 hours. All right, it can be quite a tough thing to do. You know, having you've found a place that you really like, and you're just sat there leaving offers on the table. But you know, remember what I've said previously. You can increase your offer at any point, so don't worry too much. So at this point, you could leave your offer on the table. So your last hidden offer was 282, which was offer number 4. They've come back and said 289. You say, no, I'm fine, thanks. 24, 48 hours later, you could get a call to say that they've accepted your bid of 282. All right, which again means that you are under target. All right. Now, the other thing that you could do is wait 24, 48 hours. All right, and you don't hear anything. All right, and then you pick up the phone and you push forward with your you make a final push offer. All right, where you meet them halfway, or in fact, in this instance, you meet them halfway. So a few choices with the final push offer. By the way, you can meet them halfway. You can pay what the owner wants, or you can then increase your target at that point. Now, look, I want to add something. We don't have to get all the way to the end of the flowchart for this to work, okay? At any point, if you wanted to, you could, and you felt that, you'd negotiated in this way, you use these formulas, and the owner comes back and says, oh, you know what, I'll take 285, which was your target bid, right? They could have said this at any point. So they could have come back and said, by their counter offer number 2 or number 3, they could have come back and said 285. At that point, you can increase your target offer at any point. All right, but the idea is that we want to try and push this and push the negotiations. Okay, so all right, we're now on the final push. All right, which means that you can pay what the owner wants, you can meet them halfway, or you can just increase your target. Okay, so in the instance where you wait 24 hours, 48 hours, and you get a phone call to say that they've accepted 282, that's great. If you don't get a phone call from them, you can call them and meet them halfway at 285,500. All right, which means it's been accepted but slightly over target. All right, and then the alternative is to go for the final push, where you just pay the owner what they want, what they're asking for, which was 289. All right, and then you get something accepted, although it is over target. All right, but you've managed to negotiate them down from 300 to 289. Guys, listen, this is a formula that works. And remember, all right, you can as well, and I go through this in a different module, you can negotiate on fixtures and fittings at any point. All right, so if you got to the point where you said to them here, you were reluctantly paying them what they wanted to get the deal done, why don't you throw in a couple of extra things like fixtures and fittings? So why don't you at this point say, all right, look, I'll offer 289, but I want the fridge freezer to stay, and I want the cooker to stay, and I want their dog. I want their dog as well. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. But yeah, don't negotiate on the dog. In fact, that could be highly offensive. They'll be like, they want my dog as well. Maybe some people would negotiate on the dog. Who knows? Some people just don't have any ethics and morals, But yeah, use the fixed and fittings. So if you reluctantly say, well, look, all right, look, I'll meet them halfway, or I'll pay them what they want. Add a stipulation to the negotiation. So I want you to say at that point, okay, fine, I'll pay them 289, but I want the cooker to stay, I want the fridge freezer to stay, and whatever else. All right, you can use fixtures and fittings as part of the negotiation process. But guys, listen, I promise you, all right, when you're dealing with a seller that has urgency, that wants to move, that's motivated, okay, and it's on a property that's sort of not doesn't have intrinsic value, and you know that it's you're not competing against loads of buyers. Use the formula. Use the first offer, counter offer, best and final offer, the hidden offer, and the final push. Okay? So I'm going to include this. There's a blank version of this, so you can use this while you're on the phone negotiating with an estate agent. All right, guys. So listen, this is never seen before. This is exclusive to you guys. All right? Use it. Negotiate hard. Negotiate like a pro, and just get out there. Have some fun. Build your confidence. I want this to build confidence when you're negotiating. And yeah, go out there, make it happen. And I will see you guys for sure in the next module. Take care. Bye-bye.